push the symbols from the heart chakra outward around you. Feel them coming out into your auric field around you. All of a sudden the symbols are big and you are standing inside of them. Do it 3 times. In. Push them out into the field. Around you. And 1 more. Out into the field. Now, you will observe in your imagination what your field, your bioenergetic field might look like. You will see around you an egg of energy, as if you are standing at the center of an egg. The energy surrounding this egg is vibrant, brilliant electric blue with white intermingling. It sparkles and it glows. This is a frequency field, a 5th dimensional and 12th dimensional frequency field on your non-movable body. You are now linked to the code of the archetype identity. You have begun the imprinting of the archetype identity and its corresponding 5th DNA strand into the morphogenetic field of your lower body. Feel for a moment. Try to experience the feeling of the energy field you have just created. Try to feel the vibration. It is a high vibration. Some may hear it as a high-pitched frequency that oscillates around you, 2 feet out from your body. Become familiar with the sensation, because you will be able to monitor whether you need to do this again at a different time. You will be able to begin to feel, do I feel that frequency there now, or is it dissipating? When you feel dissipating, you use the exercise again to recharge it. These exercises are very powerful and very simple, and they will help you tremendously in protection, but also in accelerating your journey of spiritual evolution and biological development. I'm getting to stop now, so we are done.
After a few times of doing an exercise like this, you'll not need to imagine the whole lineup. You won't have to imagine the line going from the crown chakra all the way up. You will simply generate the feeling and the sensation of that energy egg with the 8-dimensional frequencies in your auric field around your body. And when you can feel that egg, you'll know you're sitting in that space, in coordinates in space-time. You'll simply be able to create your channel in space by working to build the energy egg around your body, the golden one, the one that carries the 8-dimensional frequencies. Now, while we're still there in our energy egg, connecting into the monad and into the God seed, you're going to put your attention now for a moment on the little spark of light inside that egg. And you're going to move it one step further. You're going to leave the egg there, but you're going to move the spark of your attention outward to the top of the egg. It's going to go into the God seed, and then it's going to move beyond and stop. It's going to go into source. You are planting a piece of yourself as your final destination that you are attempting to reach. That piece of yourself, your consciousness, will leave a flame, a vibration in the morphogenetic field of the cosmos on that level. It will begin to send information back down toward you, back into that egg. So your egg now becomes not simply something you sit within, but something that gets filled on the outside. Thickens, the egg is thicker and thicker as more frequency is given to you. And that frequency has information for you to transmit. As you move your consciousness into the God seed and then into source, those of you who want to use the Merkaba star, use the image there. Stay with the space for a moment. would. Move your spark of light back into the energy egg to its top. Feel that space again. Then you will build again your tunnel of light, your tube of light, that leads from the crystal core from your top all the way down to you, to the top of your head. This time, we'll bring it down to the seventh chakra, and we'll bring your spark of light all the way down from Orion, through the high chakras, through the seventh, down into the body, down into the third chakra, the solar plexus region. You are making a link between a galaxy and a three-dimensional aspect of your environment. Through this, you will be able to accelerate the process of opening the neural passageways that will allow you to channel. And channeling is an interesting experience, for the more you do it, the better at it you get. Because every time you go on a journey, or any time you ask for a question and you get one of them from the higher fields to respond, you get a burst of energy from your consciousness. It helps accelerate yours. It's a very special process if you can spend the time to learn to create the golden egg. We may call it the cosmic egg. And it's your connection to the cosmos. Each one of you have it, and as a collective, you have it. Find your own first, your own cosmic egg, and take that with you wherever you go. But whenever you go into a channeling, or desire to channel, or if you sit quietly in meditation and say, I would like to learn to channel now, can my higher selves please open, and someone talk to me and tell me how to do this. Before you put out any request, build your golden bubble around you, your golden egg of light, your cosmic egg, where you will be much more protected when you channel from the space of the cosmic egg, and you will bring in much higher information than you would otherwise. Will you find the lottery numbers for tomorrow when you go into your cosmic egg? Probably not, unless you're having a contract on a soul level to win the lottery. But what you will be able to access is the information that is most important for you to stay within your growth probability of life. You will be guided in your evolution and what serves your evolution, so that you can re-evolve and expand back into the oneness of knowing yourself as all it is. And yes, you can give some practical answers too. Sometimes when you begin working with the higher dimensionals that you'll either be talking with, once you learn to hear them, they'll either be from your own matrix or from the neighboring one. They will be higher identity beings than a person who is using the laser cord, or a person who is just sitting there saying, talk. You'll be cutting out a lot of the lower frequency bands and going directly to the top. So you will get consciousness that may not be as playful or as interested in mundane worldly things as some of the D4 or D5 consciousness. But you can still, from your energy egg, move your consciousness back down to whatever dimensional coordinate you would like to communicate with. From your energy egg, even if you visualize it just sitting around you in the room, you can hold in mind the image of a blue star of David. That will tap you into two things. It will tap you into the 12th dimensional frequency bands, where your avatar consciousness is stationed. And it will also tap you in at the same time to the frequencies of blue, which will connect you to the 5th dimension. So it will serve a conduit, a bridge, where you can start to link the levels of your identity to form a communication conduit that can talk to you and guide you. This will be the guidance you will need if ever there are problems here on this planet that get frightening. Hopefully there will not be. But if there are, at least you will know you have access to what you need to do next. This is a gift you can give yourself, and it's well worth the practice. But you do need to practice. You need to make that cosmic egg around you very, very real. And sometimes, at least in the beginning, it's good to take a journey to Keylontic as a spark of light. Build a tunnel there, build a conduit to Keylontic. See its crystal core. See your energy egg inside of that and your spark of awareness inside of that. And see that egg expand right into the galaxy and beyond. Once in a while it's good to energize the whole planet. But for now, try this when you're going home. It's not going to shift your consciousness too far away. You're going to be a hazard to yourself behind the wheel of the car. But while you're sitting there in your car, or sitting in the subway, or sitting wherever you're sitting, or walking, try to call up the feeling and the image of your cosmic egg around you. Try to get used to doing this all the time. No matter what you're doing, you can develop a dual focus where a part of you can be in that egg at all times. This will rapidly accelerate all of your processes that you're working on. You can sit here in the room. It's neat because I'm seeing from the D4 perspectives, there's a bunch of, some of them are very bright cosmic eggs, some of them are half-formed, some of them are slightly lopsided. Everybody's trying to build their cosmic eggs, and it's really wonderful. And you can see the ones that have more energy to them and things. So these are real structures and energy that you're building here. Take the cosmic egg with you and remember what it means. It's your ticket to Mintaka and beyond. This will be the space that in your own work with Rishi that you will want to go into. And this is the space that before you go to anybody who's doing energy work for any reason, before you go to a healer or a chiropractor or even a medical doctor for healing health, or a psychologist or anybody, simply put yourself in your cosmic egg. And that way, if there's a problem with the matrix that they're dealing with, you don't know it, they don't know it, it will serve as a good degree of protection. It will at least put around you an 8th dimensional frequency band, which will block out all the little distortions. If you had chosen to have the sealed channel, you will notice, maybe not immediately, but you will notice in your exercises with the cosmic egg, you will find that Star of David that you put on top of your consciousness and took into the God seed and into source. You will see it as a disc that rotates on top of the cosmic egg. It transmits frequency and it creates a barrier that only things that pass the inspection with a Melchizedek cluster vibration will be allowed to enter your field. Work with the exercises, and you'll be surprised to find how real they become and the spaces you can find inside of your consciousness. Cosmic egg is especially powerful, and it's a very simple one, because all you need to do is remember the egg itself and put yourself inside it as often as possible. The more often you put yourself in there, the more often you're building those frequencies in to the morphogenetic field and bringing alive as you go. When we come back to the room this time, which we're pretty much there now, stationed in our cosmic eggs, let's try to stay in the egg space. When you open your eyes, try to feel it as an oscillation of energy. You might even see some little tinkling white sparks running before your eyes, right out, and you feel it a little bit. And if you work with this exercise, you may feel a lot. You may see lots of those as time goes on, because you can start to see the frequencies that you're bringing in. There are frequencies transmitted in this room that will help to strengthen that cosmic egg for you. So you will be safe for now, whether or not you choose ordination or initiation. They will add to protection. They will add to your ability to integrate faster. But even if you choose not to do those things, at least I know that you have left here with something more than you had when you came. You have a frequency now and an energy structure that will serve to begin to filter things out that will be harmful to you, and a space that you can begin to really work with to take your consciousness into many other places. So we can come back to the room now and pretend we're a whole room full of little old glowing eggs. And it's kind of funny because from the D4 perspective, that's what it looks like. It's really neat when you get to see it in those eyes. think if there's somebody over there that can do the lights, put everybody to sleep on that.
We in the back will wait for a while. We're sorry.
Does anybody feel kind of strange right now?
Yeah.
Or is it just me?
No, it's much
Do you?
better.
Yeah. Yeah, I have this really good, but kind of goofy, spacey feeling. Like, wow, where my consciousness is not exactly where it was before. And it wasn't in a bad space before, but it definitely was somewhere else. That was interesting. They haven't done that one with me either. I like it kind of working with the Guardian Alliance because they let me be the student too. Where it's like, oh, new technique, all put together. I don't know what it is. This is very special. I felt energy changes happening in my field. And they didn't tell me, I think, so I wouldn't analyze it first. So I'd experience it and be able to observe it. I think this is one of the most powerful techniques that I can felt, than give. So if you work with us, I think you can have a lot of fun with us. And if you choose the initiations or the ordinations, that will amplify it. It will give you more energy to work with. It will give you Orish's energy to work with, to help you with these processes. But even if you don't, you still have the processes to begin to work with. So your husband gave you the way. I feel good today. I felt that there were frequencies that were run here. It took me off my usual format a little bit. I'm usually your typical Virgo that does very linear type ordered presentations. We did some circular reasoning here. We did some putting a different movement, the energy that we were giving these concepts on. I think that was done for a reason from the higher levels. So if you want the logical order, you can read it in the books from the chart packs. It's there, and it's quite, you get to the point where you think, all right, enough logic already. Let me go watch TV or something, where I don't have to think. I felt this time that there was a real movement and field shift that was done in the group, more than I've ever felt. So I know that you were given something. So I know that even though I was kind of aggravated at myself that I didn't have my format down exactly how I like it, I have a feeling I probably gave you more this way than I could have if I'd had it that way I usually do my presentations. There's something special as you go home with you. And I'm glad that you have it. And I hope that you use it, because it will take you spaces. And I think the energy egg, that cosmic egg image, the golden egg, that'll be your key. Just call that image to mind and put yourself in it. That's your access point to the chakra. To leave in time matrix. That's a very special access point. And when you begin to channel, if you keep putting yourself in that space and everything, so probably, that's right. What do you know? Eventually, you'll hear something. And somebody say, yeah, I'll talk to you. Or you'll get a, ooh, somebody's there. That'll be a direct cognition. If you get a, I don't feel alone in the space anymore. So you may come that way. It will, if you work with us, begin your process of opening to interdimensional communication. Some of you have already developed some of that. This will strengthen those processes. And it won't make your guides go away, whoever you've been working with, if you are open to channel already. As long as they're good and they're not something that's been messing with you, this will only enhance your ability to communicate with them. But if you happen to have them being messed with by something, this will begin dissolving whatever hold on your field they have. Also, a little other thing I just want to put in there. Since we're on golden bubbles, there's an expo that's coming in town in October, I believe it is. We were going to be at it, but we had to cancel because I was advised not to be there. Instead of scheduling difficulties, but it was scheduling because, I said, we don't want you to go this time. So I said, okay. I didn't ask why, because I was going to go, but it was also very hard on the schedule. But I knew that if we were supposed to be there, I'd be there. I said, do we need to be? He said, no, there's nothing you need to do there at this time. When you go to these places, the expos, any of these, bring your bubble with you, your energy egg, take it with you. Keep it in your back pocket if you have to, but don't forget that. Because I have seen things go down at these spaces that were horrifying. And the only reason I saw them is because I had my fourth dimensional vision activated. I would not have seen them with my physical eyes at all. go into a lecture room with a perfectly seemingly nice individual, have that individual call in frequencies, toning, that brought in some really nasty looking things called Dracon. Okay. There's some of the reptilians that like to run around inside human forms and all sorts of other stuff around here. They're part of the takeover team. You know, they're not good guys. The people in that room had no idea. The only ones that didn't know would be the ones that had the information. But what they were trying to do, they were sending lines of energy out to the chakra systems of people in there. They were putting a link on them. So people that weren't being messed with before that point, because they went to that workshop or that seminar, because they went in that room during that particular event, they went home one morning. They got a Dracon without even knowing. Not just the Dracon that was doing it. You have Draco's Dracon. They're both drug states. You have some of the negative Anunnaki forces. You have some of the negative Nephilim forces that are doing these tactics. And you have lots and lots and lots of little grays. You know, those little plastic little gray things, those diverticuli. Oh, they just love to do that. You also have things that look like big moths. Standing upright, kind of dirty looking, tannish colored moth things. They're not good guys either. And they're another one that use this tactic. I went to the expo last time, and I was horrified. I love expos. It's so wonderful to be with all the people and then, you know, neat stuff going on. I felt like I had walked into a brick wall by the time I had gotten out of there. I was under someone's psychic attack. I never felt anything like it. I was naive. I'm not afraid of a psychic attack. I just protected something. And I'm worried about it. I'm not a paranoid person. And I don't want to be. Personally, I come to not know. You know, I don't really want to know about what they're doing as long as it's not going to really affect me. There was so much manipulation on fourth dimensional frequencies going on here. And I could see it, and they could see me seeing it. So they kept trying to zap me. They kept trying to, you know, shut me down, shut my perceptions down, get me upset, you know, set me up with confrontational situations. It's very real. You know, a lot of scientists people have a hard time because they don't believe in psychics, you know, all that mind stuff, you know. Well, all that mind stuff is real. It's fourth dimensional frequency. And if you could see what New York City looks like, it's fourth dimensional frequency. Up in the sky, it looks like a parking lot. A very cool parking lot. You've got a lot of company in this city. Some of it is good. But this is one of the vortices they have been having problems with. Okay? The people in this city need to use techniques like activating the God seed and putting themselves in that bubble more than most places. You have everything you need. As long as you know, remember how to use it. You have everything to be safe, to blow off this ET drama stuff like who needs this? We're, you know, we have an opportunity to rapidly spiritually evolve here. Who cares about the ET? Get them out of my way. You know? Like, that's the least of our problems. We don't need this aggravation. This is an opportunity to begin merging our consciousness with the higher levels. We don't need to be distracted by little gray things and, you know, big Dracon things. It's just an annoyance, really. But it's a scary one, because it can do you harm if you don't know it's there, no one knows to put your field up. So, walk in your field. Remember you have one. Take it with you wherever you go, consciously. And it'll be a lot better off. And you won't be surprised what it leads you. You may have some amazing experiences open up for you when you work with these techniques. It may come fast or it may come slow. But some people have it fast. Or just they start getting cognition and learning new things. It may redirect your whole life. You may find things that this wasn't really me. That, you know, I feel like it's time to change things. You may find that the path you were on wasn't your heroic path. But as you work with the energies and bringing in the higher identity, that will right itself. You'll get directed. And doors will open and you didn't even know existed. Oh, I could do that. Yeah, why don't I try that? Maybe it's a new job, you know, something like that. So it will create change, but it'll be good change. If you trust it and you aim high. The golden meaning, the word aim high, it means aim over the avatar level, into the Rishi level, and into God's